Tejbz? What are you doing, bro? What do you look... Tejbz? What?
Oh, yeah, he's not here.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, I was gonna show you the pet Murre. He's always here, yeah.
Weren't we supposed to do a podcast? Like, isn't that kind of...
I guess we have to do that now then. Okay, we'll go back. Okay, come on.
Tejbz med Vänner. Enjoy!
Yo, what up, dogs? Tejbz here, and welcome to my podcast. That's right, I have a podcast now. It is called Tejbz med Vänner, and Tejbz med Vänner means Tejbz and friends. And luckily, this episode that you guys are about to watch, it is completely in English, and I haven't really figured out where to upload everything, but what I do know is that I want to do Swedish episodes and a bunch of English episodes too to upload here on the channel for you guys, basically. If you guys want to watch all the episodes, if you're Swedish, maybe you understand all of it, you can go to the link in the description and to the YouTube channel Tejbz Comedy, where all the episodes will be uploaded. And I figured, until I figure this out at least, I'll upload the English episodes here on the main channel as well. But if you also want to check out the audio version, if you're Swedish or you understand Swedish at least, you can go to Spotify and Apple Podcasts and subscribe and get all the episodes right there. So this episode that you guys are about to watch is with a lovely stand-up comedian, and her name is Kathryn LeRoux. She lives in Sweden. She's from America, and she's also really, really good at voice acting. So she's trying to kind of help me get my foot in the door and get my career started in voice acting. And the episode is awesome. You can check it out. As I said, all the links in the description. Please drop a like, subscribe to the audio versions of it, and check me out on Patreon. I got a new Patreon with a little bit of special kind of legend status if you guys get in early. So now, just enjoy the episode and have a lovely day. Tejbz med vänner. Tejbz med vänner.
Yeah, how do you want to sit? You can.
Exactly. Hi, and welcome to the Today Show.
Yes, Tejbz, late night with Tejbz.
Late night with
I mean,
Tejbz.
it's daytime, but no one has to know that. You know what? After this, should we just play video games, all podcast and stuff?
I think that you don't know how bad I am at this, so you should probably know my background, my history on that. I think it's important everyone knows.
For sure. Well, we'll see about that. But it's so, Kathryn, it's so cool that you're here with Tejbz med Vänner.
Ja, men tack.
Yes.
Men vad kul.
Skål.
Skål. Ta mig fan.
We got some, I have gifflar också.
Ja.
Ja, do you want some?
Gud. Gifflar. Listen, I love Swedish baked goods. It's made me Swedish.
I like to start the podcast by bragging. I got 2 YouTube play buttons behind you, you know?
Oh my God, 100,000 subscribers, 100, oh my God.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Those are gorgeous.
Right? They are, so this is like, I think I talked a little bit, but one of them says I inspired PewDiePie at the bottom. Because he used to watch me. And I also have this theory that I came up with his name. Because I said pee-pee pie. And like in a joking, funny way. And then all of a sudden a YouTuber started commenting on my videos with the name PewDiePie. Coincidence? I think not.
I think not.
No, it's almost too good to be true. So
it's one of those, you know the truth.
yeah. For sure.
And only you have that, but at least on the bottom, you know, it has some acknowledgement there, which is very important for our egos in general.
I think
we need that.
Yeah. Sometimes it is good to have theories about things in life that probably aren't true, but still makes you happy. Yeah.
Do you know, that happens to me a lot in stand-up though, where like I will think, I gave that comedian that idea.
Oh yeah.
Or like I wrote that, or I said something that made them think. And then, you know, sometimes I'll even confront a comedian, not confront, but just like talk about it and be like, hey, you know, that joke is working out really well. Like, do you remember when we, and like 98% of the time they're like, no.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's like flown right over their head. They're like, no, absolutely not. But I actually have to say that, like, you know, a lot of the jokes that I've written are made by other comedians. Like Branne has written some of my punchlines. Like I think that's great. I have a very low ego threshold with those things.
Yeah.
I like appreciate. Tejbz, did you know that you wrote a punchline that's working really well right now? You might have heard me do it at Debaser, but you were backstage. That I said, it sounds like you buy your clothes at Ullared.
Oh yeah, like
it's
a white
worked
trash
every time. And I use it as a callback now. Like, so when my husband asked me what my brother said, I said, it sounds like you buy your clothes at Ullared.
Oh.
So it's like, you wrote not just one, but 2 jokes. I will give you 10 crowns for every time I use it.
Oh,
so
really?
You're
so
up to
what,
like 50 crowns right now. Yes.
So you could technically make a living off of writing jokes for other comedians, right?
Is a thing.
Yeah. I have the one.
People don't admit it, but that's a fucking thing.
I have helped a guy who does English. He's from the Australian guy. I told him that shit hits the fan.
Everyone calls him the Australian guy.
Yeah.
What is his name?
I think it's Stuart, right?
Stuart. Oh, you're talking about Stuart. Yeah.
So we obviously this podcast is about everything that we're interested in, but now I think we're going to talk a lot about stand-up. I feel
just like a pinch, and then you should watch me play video games.
I think so. Yeah,
it's important.
That is probably for the Patreon or whatever. You know, like we got to put that behind a paywall. To get people really interested.
To watch Kathryn LeRoux play video games.
God, but
I'll take off my top.
I do think because I have been I like to listen to all like the comedians when you're sitting and waiting for your turn, and then sometimes you do come up with like a tag or something, and it's good when you have a relationship with a person that you can actually say it to.
Oh my God!
To some people, you don't want to go like, hey man, you know, you should.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
That I mean. I'm used to it because it's happened so much now, but usually I give what I consider a pretty like obvious look that I'm not into what they're doing, but because like when Branne makes a suggestion, he like comes up and he's like, "Hey, really love that bit. I had a thing. Do you want to hear it?" Or like, you know, he asked permission, and I feel like that's a good way to start. But when you wrote that punchline for me, I was like spitballing with you backstage. I was like, I don't know what to do with this. Like there's a whole setup here that feels like there should be a button on this, and I don't know what it is. And then you were just like, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's where the inspiration comes from.
And that was a cigarette. But he doesn't do that because...
Yeah, I think I've already outed myself to enjoy that, but I always want to like. I told my mom when I was talking to her on the phone recently. I was like, I started recording the podcast. You don't have to listen to every episode. You know, if there's a guest or something, you know. And she's like, oh, maybe you can ask Al Pitcher if he wants to come. And I was like,
God!
Yeah,
that'd be cool. I will.
My parents love Al. My sister loves Al.
Everybody loves Al Pitcher. He's amazing.
He's so nice as well. Like like the first time, you know, he probably had no idea who I was, but then I've been seeing him a couple of times, and now he recognizes me.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, what's up?
And I think that's one of the cooler feelings, that once you start with stand-up, you can all of a sudden you're sitting in like the green room chatting with the guys who you're like, I look up to these people.
Yes. Yeah. And I feel like everyone's very chill. There's been like very few circumstances where like really big people are also assholes.
Yeah.
But Al, I don't know if you knew, because I think he's probably one of the greatest, or like one of my favorite comedians, because his whole shtick now is really about catering to the Swedish audience. Yeah. And I think that that's brilliant in what he does. Before he was doing that though, he would tour the UK and he wouldn't write a single thing. Like he didn't have a show. He would go to a new city every night. He'd walk around the city all day and do an hour of improvised comedy. An hour of improvised comedy with the audience.
Jesus.
And I know this because UK comedians who come over here to do shows at the Laugh House and other places, they'll go, have you seen Al recently? And like, they're the ones who are telling me stories about this, where they're like, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anybody do anything like that again. And like, when I hear an hour of improvised comedy, like, I feel like I'm gonna get diarrhea. Like, it just feels like way too intense. Like, who does that?
An hour is so because it's obviously it's like not in the same ballpark. Like I'm playing in Division 1 Norra, I say, and Al Pitcher is in Premier League.
Yeah, Premier
you know?
League. Yeah.
But so what I've been forcing myself. So you know, like on Thursdays, International Night at Big Ben, I can come and do English, and then I've been like saying to myself like, okay, this time I'm only gonna do crowd work, and I've been chickening out. Like I think I told you that I chickened out.
Oh my God.
And then last Thursday I just like fuck it. Like I did it. So I did 8 minutes of no material.
Just crowd work.
Just crowd work. And so what I was doing, like I was kind of like I was sitting in back and just looking at the audience and like hearing what Mila, who's emceeing, like hosting, he was chatting with, and Nick White is also a comedian. He was after me, but he was also planning on doing crowd work.
So he was just like a
yeah, so every time someone in the audience said something, I looked back at Nick and I went, mine.
That is a
and he just went, dude. But yeah, it was honestly an incredible experience. Kind of, I was chatting with like 4 different like people in the crowd, like gangs.
Wow! Oh my God!
And then at the end, I managed to kind of tie the knot, and it ended up. It's not gonna sound super fun now, but it ended up me talking to an anesthesiologist. Like they put people to sleep during operations.
Yeah.
And it ended up with me saying that she can put this Finnish guy to sleep, and we can take his foreskin and put it back on me, lad. So that's how the show ended, and I was like, that's my time, I guess.
And now we return to the podcast, Tejbz med Vänner.
The times that I've been practicing crowd work like that have been during emceeing, and I started to film emceeing as well, so that I could see what actually happened, because crowd work, if you don't film it or anything, it can be like, wait, what did we do? Wait, what was the thing? And I filmed something this past weekend, and the joke that started in like the first half over here and it ended in the second half over there, with some guy in the back of the room, and there's a family that's sitting over here and a single guy, and like, so if you can somehow magically tie the room together, that's when I think the crowd work becomes like magic, because then it's like a special thing that just happened at this one moment, and that's why also comedians are going through like a very special time where, I mean, a lot of people on social media only see us doing crowd work because we don't want to post our material, because that's like our copywritten material that we want to release when we feel like it's ready, because we'll do the jokes sometimes for years before we feel like they're ready, and a lot of comedians think, well, if I post this now, then it ruins the thing for everybody else. But I actually don't think that's true. I have the weirdest theory that
no, go ahead.
I'm laughing because it's kind of dumb. So like, I do a joke called the what I call the Halloween sketch, where I like.
I know.
He knows about it.
Sorry, I'm not gonna spoil that.
No,
I love it.
Thank you.
I heard it at the Baser. I think I was sitting back, and even like I heard your setups, and the laugh, like it was roaring. You know?
That was a crazy night though.
Yeah.
I don't know what was in the water, but everyone was having a better time than usual during that set. But the thing is that I've changed the joke several times. I've like changed the setup. I've changed which order things are in.
Yeah.
So the version that's posted on Instagram, even if it got 15,000, 20,000 hits or something like that on Instagram, I'm like, they're gonna come back and that joke's not the same anymore.
Yeah.
So I've started to post bits even before they're ready, because maybe it'll give. I also want the audience to trust that I'm writing material and that I'm not just doing crowd work all the time, and that when they come to see me perform, that they don't. I've just started to sense that people are like shaking in their boots when they come to comedy sometimes. There's people who love crowd work, who are like super into it and sit up front for every show. But there's a lot of people who hang back and like want to sit so far in the back that they
just want to be entertained as well.
Yes, and I feel like that's something that is changing a bit, and we had a really interesting discussion on another podcast about what does the audience think when we start to just only post crowd work, and like, you know, is this stand-up comedy now? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because it's changed so much over the past 100 years.
For sure. Like, but I think, and I feel like there's a certain, I don't know, maybe some comedians also look down at at like crowd work, because if they are focused on writing it, right? So because I know Branne, for instance, like he's not a huge fan of crowd work.
Really?
So whenever I'm like hosting on say a Saturday or something, I'm always like, I wonder if I should just. But then you have to do crowd work.
Then you have to do crowd work.
Welcome. Like me and Atto also talked a lot about like the power of also doing MC work.
Yeah.
Like you get to do so much time on stage as well.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
One of the best things I've noticed is, going up, doing some crowd work, saying some stupid stuff in like the first half. And then when you come back that second half, the audience is like, hey, it's this guy. like the ginger guy, we like the ginger guy.
It's great.
So then, and once, if you do 10 minutes in the second half, that's usually way better.
God, yeah. No, and I feel looser as well, because as an MC, you're not just doing the performance, you're also wrangling the fucking comedians back there. You're trying to catch everyone's time, make sure the music is going. It's like a lot to handle at the same time.
Yeah.
So usually the first 10 minutes are like, hey, what's going on here? And like, what are you guys doing? And what you But then by the second half, that's Joe and that's Cynthia, and like you're gonna have this flow going, and you can do jokes as well. I've started to also test jokes during emceeing.
That's good, yeah.
Some people think that that's like because you're in charge of the night and you're emceeing that you shouldn't do that. And I can see that, but I also don't do long bits. Like they're like 30 seconds a minute or something. Yeah. If I'm and recently, this joke that I was trying, it's like 5 minutes long. It's down to 30 seconds now.
Nice.
Like I cut out so much shit. Yeah. I hope I can re-add it back in later after I work with it a bit, but it was just too long. It was just way too much explaining and like.
Yeah, you need so much. Sometimes you do need a lot of exposition.
Exposition.
It's kind of like a film term where you're like, oh, so this is the planet that we're on. Like,
But one thing I wanted to comment on, because I didn't know if you wanted to share this with your followers, but you have this like incredible voice. Incredible. Do people comment on that on your channel?
Yeah, on my channel it's been a lot, but like usually when I stream, people say that they enjoy the sound of my voice. So
that's nice.
But they, like after, I think either before, like the same day or something, when you gave me like a big compliment on my voice, I was like, damn, fuck yeah, felt so cool. And then I did a set in English on one of these Thursdays, and there was like a gang of ladies pretty like close to the stage, and they started chatting with each other. I was like, hey, what are you guys?
Yeah.
Ladies over here. Look up here. It's like, and they went, no, we just love your voice. It sounds so cool. And it's so smooth. I was like, that's a super nice compliment. And then I started reading them like a pretend, like, you want me to read you an audiobook? Like, hi, how are you?
100%.
Like, in a world. Yeah.
But like, that's the thing, is that we listen to male voices a lot in stand-up. So to get complimented on the tone of your voice and like that you're pleasant to listen to.
That's actually
extraordinarily special in stand-up.
I haven't even, because it's happened twice on stage. People are like,
so awesome.
This voice. And when I came back, I think there was a couple of Swedish comedians who never heard me in English as well. I don't know. And they were like,
something about English also sets your, because you have a great voice in general, but like something about English sets your tone down a little bit for some reason.
Yeah, I think it potentially is. It's the way of speaking as well.
Maybe,
in English,
it's more,
you're like,
exactly.
And in Swedish, I do love playing with my voice and doing like different dialects, but mostly from the north, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think it's super cool hearing things like that, because then you're like, when I'm good enough, like doing 45 minutes or something, I'm hoping people are gonna go like, oh, that was so pleasant because of his voice as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So.
But I was gonna talk to you about that, because I did want you to test read something on camera.
On the pod,
yes. If you're into it.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
But before we do that, though, because someone gave me some, I think it was Al, I can't remember, or it was Ahmed, or somebody gave me some great advice, and they're like, look, because English-speaking comedians all do the same shtick here. Yeah. It's not even like if you're good or bad. Like when you start comedy here, it's like you do the same kind of jokes. Swedes standing in sunshine. the laundry room, the tatsuga,
waiting in line,
like, you know, there's just like classic things. And every once in a while you'll hear people, like I think John Rollins is a brilliant comedian who like, if he did stuff like that, which he mostly talks about his family, but if he does Swedish material, it's his own thing. It's his own experience with it. He had some great bits years ago that were about Södermalm hipsters, because he was working in a shop and like about how to communicate with hipsters. And it was one of the only times that I heard a comedian do like such a specific bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, so someone goes, you have to use what you know that you're good at, your special skills that set you apart from everybody else. And that's when like I started doing this Britney Spears bit. That's when I started like, you know, experimenting with my voice. What can I do that no one else can do? And in the beginning it wasn't even, can I make this funny? It was like, what, like Britney, can I sound like Britney Spears, kind of, sorta. And then I was like, what do I have to say about it? And the bits changed again, like 3 or 4 times throughout the years, because Britney went through a lot of different shit. And sometimes I end up writing about daddy issues, like, and that making it a thing about that if I'm doing crowd work, and I'm like, oh yeah, you got daddy issues. Well, and I think especially in English, like, oh my God, dude, you can imitate, like, we don't do this anymore, but like, you know those movie commercials from like, in a world. Yes, exactly. So, you're fucking sick for that.
Have you seen Transformers?
Yes, bro. I've seen the OG like 10 times. I fucking
it's literally I watch it once a year, like a comfort movie, you know.
Oh my God, that's me in Twilight.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But Optimus is like doing that voice.
Yes.
So I haven't done this in like maybe a year or something, but I have like this premise that my girlfriend doesn't like watching movies with me. Like, I think you may have heard me say, and then and then she says all the, you know, she only wants to listen to true crime because it's happened for real. And then I'm like, yeah, well, sure, if Transformers actually happened for real, what would happen? They'd be like, they land on the Earth and be like, I am Optimus Prime. The humans are worthless. And the Autobots, let's get the fuck out of here. So I haven't done that in a while because I think I also need a little bit more, I don't know, routine kind of to switch into different voices. Because like,
dude, if you're hosting on a Thursday, like, or on a Saturday, then try that 30 seconds or that 15 seconds and gauge the reactions. Because I hate it when comedians go, you guys know, have you heard of the movie Transformers? Don't ask. Just do and then go for it. And that's when, because like I'm working on also a language bit about Swedish accents, and I didn't know where I was going with that either. It was like, where I was trying to fit in, how do I do skånska? Like, how do I fit this into a routine? And at first, I just had to imitate skånska on stage to gauge people's reactions and see, like, do you understand that this is skånska? Like, is it something that you find funny? And then after, like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 times, I was like, oh, okay, like, we can construct a bit around this. And then, so I would just say go for it. Like, fucking try it out while you're emceeing, because that's when it's kind of allowed. And also could be really fun to like tie in crowd work with that as well. If you were a transformer, what would you transform into, bro?
Like, that sucks. Like, that is unfortunate. I do Optimus, like I've perfected that. Not perfect, but I've done it a lot during when I've been streaming and goofing around and like the trailer voice. You know, there are people who do that so well, but I think like it would be fun to do it in Swedish as well. But you know, the commercials.
Haven't you been to like a fucking Solna?
You know, IMAX, do you mean that?
Yes, härifrån. Härifrån. Och härifrån.
That's my favorite part.
No, I know. I'm sitting in there and I'm like...
Du kan höra en knappnål falla lika tydligt som dånet av ett jumbojet. Den är fet alltså. That is awesome.
That's you, bro. That's you.
Do you know Jysk commercials?
Yes. Oh my God.
På Jysk ska vi laga det. Eller min favorit. Grattis Borås, nu kommer Dressman till er.
You could do some serious shit, bro.
Yeah.
You could do some damage.
And also I need money, so I will definitely learn how to do voice acting if it would be possible, because it would be my fucking dream, kind of like, and also to do a character in a video game. That'd be so cool.
Okay.
Like,
well,
Swedish,
I love how we're actually. This is actually really funny that we're talking about this now, because I didn't even know what voiceovers were. Like, I didn't acknowledge. Like, I went to a theater school and no one ever said, "Yeah, you can also be a voiceover actor." I was like working as an actor, and someone was like, "Do you want to do a voiceover job?"
Yeah.
And it was for a video game.
No way. Yeah.
A children's video game called Wonderglade. It comes from Resolution Games. It's a Stockholm company. And I've done like 10 games with them. And so I've done a lot of video games. And the first video game that I ever got to do was a fairy. So I got to speak really high and do this kind of thing. And even then they pitched it, so it was like super high. But it was one of the most like fun, exciting, like, and I was in a t-shirt and jeans. Like, you know, I didn't even have makeup on for that gig. And I kind of just fell in love with it from the second that I did it.
How long ago was that?
8 years ago, I think.
Oh, okay, it sounded like it was recent, but you have done plenty of work then.
Yeah, it ended up being like how I was making my living for a long time, and it wasn't until about like 6 months ago when my voiceover started to like decline, which is super fucking weird, because I've been in the industry for so long that I didn't even have to make phone calls anymore to get jobs. Contacted. Yes, exactly.
That's so cool.
So it was awesome, and after a while, I go into that video game company, and the Technica, the sound designer, Technica. Since you love my Swedish, he's like, I'm like, you know what? I said, it's so good to be in the studio again. Like, I missed you guys. It's been like 1.5 years or something since I've been in here. I don't know what's going on. And he was like, oh, you don't know? Yeah. And he sat me down, took me to like 4 websites. Yeah. All porn. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
This is you.
We could not hire you after the...
How did you find this?
After the horse video, it was over. So
no, we're leaving that in.
So fucking, he shows me like 4 websites that are all advanced AI voiceover websites.
Oh no.
So like thousands of people have already submitted, like people who aren't even voiceover actors submit their voices to these apps. Yeah. And at the time it seems like good money, especially for people who haven't done voiceovers. It can be somewhere between like $10,000 like $10,000 or something. So they'll offer you 100K in like Swedish kroner, and that you know, it seems like a good amount of money. But what that means is that when they pay you that's in perpetuity, which means that they have it forever. Yeah. So even after you die, they'll still have it. And that they can use your voice in whatever fashion they see fit.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I have made, the most I've ever made on a voiceover was for a car commercial. And it was, I think, $150,000 on invoice. Yeah. For one job.
That's so,
for one job. Best day of my life. But they, so when these voiceover things happen, they can use your voice for 100,000 crown commercial and not pay you for it.
Exactly, yeah.
So it sounds like a lot of money at the time, but over time, it could lose you a lot of work.
And also those people are shooting themselves in the foot for, like...
If they're voiceover actors,
if they want to do it in the future.
Yeah.
Well, why pay you when we already have your AI model here?
So this guy that I've known for 8 years, who got me my first job, I start bawling. Like, I'm crying my eyes out. I'm like, my whole career is over, like, everything's... And he's like, okay, calm down. Like, he's like, I need you to calm down. But then he said, I understand why you're stressed, but let me show you this. And it was another porn website. Sorry. Yeah. He takes me and shows me that for one of their video games that's coming out, they hired an orchestra. He's been fighting for years to have live instruments because he's been making all of the music through like via computer. And so he finally, with the budget, was able to like have an entire orchestra for one of their new video games. come on, idiot! I can see it in my. Anyway.
What type of game is it? Is it or do you know the studio?
It's
the same.
It's Resolution Games. It's the same one, but it's like a virtual reality board game. Really fun to record.
I thought you said
commercials.
virtual reality porn game.
It was a virtual reality.
That's gonna make a lot of
game.
money. Yeah, for sure.
Demio. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm gonna turn us down because we're having so much fun that I noticed. Like, we don't even need gain.
We don't need gain.
No.
But so he showed me this, and he goes, "Look, like you will still work, it'll just be less. Be prepared that NPCs are not going to be, but I went and recorded tons of NPC characters, which is also like a great day at work. You don't even make that much cash, but like, I have videos actually on my Instagram that I should show you sometime where like I do a falling, getting hit. So much fun. You would love that because then they're like, okay, we're gonna do some throws now, and let's start off light and then let's get super heavy. You know, so
you know, like are you sure it wasn't porn?
They're probably used. You know, it's in perpetuity. You know, it's there forever.
Tejbz met Vänner.
I'm kind of curious.
Yes,
I wanted to hear you do something. Did I send you my reel? Have you heard my voiceover stuff?
I have not heard it, no.
Calling experts and calling beginners. Calling lovers of fashion and design.
This sounds so good.
And those who
this sounds so good.
Calling the young, the old.
I must have heard you.
The curious.
So when it comes to managing travel personalization, let Cruncho do the work for you and get more time to do the things you do best.
You sound so professional.
Thank you.
I'd like to offer you a way for you to travel, even in these times.
It's a little bit long. We don't have to watch the whole thing. So basically, like it shows just this whole reel is just supposed to show versatility, so that you know how to use your voice in different fashions. And so I have a Swedish test script and I have an English test script.
Yeah, should we do it the English one?
I'm just curious.
All right.
Let me give you some.
Oh, I accidentally started Epic Games. We're not getting that yet. All right.
Okay, so wait. So for this first one, like let's just like have a read through it quickly, or like so you get kind of an idea of what this is.
Yeah.
So read this one and then read that one. You don't have to read the middle. Okay. All right. Go.
To get started with FlowZone, all you need is a VR headset and a mobile device. When you're done, just press the Leave Work button in the top right corner. Close the app and remove your headset.
Boom!
Yeah.
Boom! Made 5,000 crowns!
No way!
Done!
All right, sweet.
Okay.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I mean, I do think it's difficult doing voiceover with this, I feel like, because you want to have like something to focus your
definitely
beam.
I mean, and also that it actually gets super nerdy. Like it gets like really scientific.
Yeah,
like
the closer I studied radio production in, so
right.
I know if you're closer to the microphone, it sounds more bassy.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So,
and sometimes also like I measure how far I am away from the mic, so I can.
Yeah.
But so product demos are super common nowadays. That's something that's often covered by AI. But I do still a lot of product demos. Super boring, but sometimes fun as well to learn about new stuff that's going on. Okay, video game number 1.
Oh, video game number 1.
Now this is like children's game.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious because I do think that you could do that.
Yeah.
Just because you have bassy voice doesn't mean that you can't cater to different audiences.
No. So speaking of that, I did. So there's this guy named Tejbz. He does children's YouTube videos for like with Roblox and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he had. I don't know why he's not contacted me again, but I did do some voiceover work for his like children's videos, and I was doing it in Swedish. I was kind of like an old grumpy man, and I was like the guy who steals the treasure or something like that, and that was so fun. And then I've done like a Fortnite skit where I sing. You know John Wick, right?
Yeah, of course.
He did a super cool John Wick cinematic, and I was singing in Russian. I was like, "Bаю, bаюshka, bаю." And I think kind of know the words, but here I feel like it's Cloudsy seems really like positive. So video game 1. Good morning, Cloudsy. You cute little ball of cloud fluff, you. You want to go outside? I don't know who I'm talking to. You want to go outside?
Okay. So when we're
I don't know. Maybe it's different characters.
Okay. So sometimes when you're recording a character, you are having a conversation, but you're
with
not
yourself.
having. You're not. The other person is not present.
Yeah.
Or sometimes there'll be someone. The audio engineer will read back the other lines to you.
Yeah.
But oftentimes I just record them one after the other and just get used to me being psychotic. But I want to experiment and see if you can do good morning, Cloudsy. Good morning, Cloudsy.
Good morning, Cloudsy. You cute little ball of cloud fluff, you. You want to go outside? Okay, I'm coming. That's like a 12-year-old, you know?
Yeah, but do you remember that episode of South Park when Mickey Mouse is...
yeah. Oh, I remember it.
This is that. Okay, but now oh no, the lightning has struck the Lovelands. That's super common as well, like in video games. Something incredible has happened, go!
Oh no, the lightning has struck the Lovelands. Oh no! I'm trying to picture myself as a cloudy, fluffy ball. Oh no, the lightning has struck the Lovelands.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Lovelands
are
really important.
Oh, Loveland. Yeah.
It's
no!
It has to mean something to you, Tejbz.
Yeah.
You have to find something within.
The lightning has struck the Loveland.
Yes! Yeah. No, but for realsies, I know that it's crazy in the script that it would say things like that, but you have to do that. You have to imagine oh no, lightning.
Lightning has struck the Loveland.
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, do you feel like you react to stuff when you're listening in games to how the voice actors and everything?
I listen constantly to voice acting, and have you know Halo, right?
Yeah, of course. I played Halo a bunch.
So Master Chief and all the voice actors, especially in Halo 2, one of my all-time favorite games. It's so good. And Master Chief, I need a weapon.
No, they're amazing. They cast superb actors in those games.
And there's also a robot, I think it's called, he controls the installations, the Halos.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name now, but that voice actor is also so good. He sounds like a robot, but it is a human touch to it. Because he's funny.
I've also done robots a couple of times.
Yeah.
And robots are like that, hello, welcome to the spectrum, or welcome to the blah blah blah.
Welcome.
So it's you have to imagine yourself that you were recorded, but that humans have given me some inflection.
The humans are dead.
Exactly.
0000001. Now a binary rap from Flight of the Conchords. Have you know Flight of the Conchords?
Oh my God! Of course.
0000001.
That took me a second. I was like, wow, it's been a while.
Yeah.
So oftentimes we get video games that are darker themed.
Oh yeah.
I've also played a lot of vampires and scary characters or menacing. I've done some battle video games, and sometimes they can be somewhere in between. Yeah, this is a mystical. I should find a real battle script that we can use, because battle scripts can actually be quite.
Listen.
I actually think that battle scripts can be kind of hard because you want the the reality of how intense it is to set into your voice and into your body, so that when they're get out of here now, it's something inside you have to as an actor, I'm always trying to what's actually going on inside to make me try to sound like that.
Do you move? Do you stand up
all
when
the
you're?
Time.
Yeah,
almost all the time.
That's. I feel whenever doing voiceover, even if I'm doing a TikTok, I move with my arms and stuff, because I started streaming because I want to finish work here and then go home.
Oh yeah.
So I started streaming and recording my voiceovers, and my viewers have been like, "Damn, I just bang it out." I go yo, share TikTok, blah blah blah. You're talking in Swedish, and because you have to play the game. game. Like you have to get the viewers hooked. So
definitely, because that's why AI hasn't completely taken over. Is because the human touch and making it sound really real is something that still we're only basically able to do.
Yeah.
But so here is where you'd probably really shine, is in like the scary mythical realm. So this is when you're set into the real Tejbz voice. And what is this? The Black Forest?
Yeah. This place is called the Black Forest for a reason. I didn't come this far to fall to the fate of this cursed forest. The cursed medallion of Doohoo. Doo-doo. Oh, Doohoo, no. Old friend, I have freed our people, and I will free you too.
I love how quickly you did those back to back. Do old friend, I have freed our people. Like you're touching someone on the shoulder, like old friend, I have freed our people.
Old friend, I have freed our people.
Yeah.
And I will free you soon too.
100%. Go one more time and emphasize.
Freed.
Yeah,
maybe.
Go for it. Yeah, try that. Yeah.
Old friend, I have freed our people. And I will free you too.
Fantastic! Yeah. That's
Let's
it.
Go.
And and a lot of times when you're doing retakes and trying to, because sometimes also directors can be more specific. They'll ask you to do word focus. They'll say, make sure that you emphasize this. Can I get a small pause after that? That's when it gets like nerdy and like scientific almost. But this is also just fun to do because trying to get a good realistic take takes usually 5 or 6 times, sometimes reading these like goofy lines, especially when someone's fucking name is Doohoo or something like that. Yeah, and you gotta like take it.
Forest doo-doo.
Welcome, Doo-doo.
Welcome, doo-doo.
But that's awesome. And you know, you kind of, the last one, I think that's in here, this is different than the demo because demo is very straightforward. But commercial, this is completely different than Swedish commercials. Swedish commercials are explanatory and not too pushy. American commercials
may cause the side effect of erection.
Yeah.
If your erection lasts longer than 24 hours, call a friend and brag about it.
Not just
That's from SNL.
that.
I didn't actually write that. So.
Wow, he did a joke commentary. I like that. But there's more than just that though, because American commercials are completely, you know.
Yeah, they are. I mean, I'm obsessed with like this as well because they when you come to America, you watch normal American TV or like you turn on, you get to the hotel room. I'm like, yes. Let's see what Tucker Carlson is up to.
Go up.
I'm standing in Sweden, where everything is weird.
And now we return to the podcast Tejbz med Vänner.
Go to travel, because I want to hear you like be the most American motherfucker possible.
Wait. Want to travel like a...
Yes, that's exactly what I want.
Do you want to travel like a celebrity? Zip around the country in your own helicopter, complete with a... Wait, hold on.
Yeah. You don't have to read it fast. You don't have to read it fast. I just wanted to hear you say...
Want to travel like a celebrity?
Want to travel like a celebrity? Yeah.
Want to travel like a celebrity? Zip around the country in your own helicopter, complete with a licensed pilots and hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah,
that sounds hard. Hors d'oeuvres to keep you on the top of your game. Get from point A to point B within minutes. Visit charterforbusiness.com to find out more about how you can beat the traffic. Show up in style and on time. Start flying to your meetings today.
I knew that you would have a good instinct about how to, because there's something about ending sentences as well. Like companies, when you're doing commercials, you have to sound firm. Like you have to know exactly what you're talking about so that the customer can go, and you did it so well. So show up in style and on time.
Yeah, but I
so
feel
you knew
like
exactly the right thing. It was perfect.
Just smiling a little bit when you're saying certain words.
Big
like
deal.
I think for sure that this is so fun. Like I love this segment.
You're gonna be so. But we could take this later. The rest of it. But you have such good instincts and you have such a great voice and. I think that reading is also like a big time skill. Some people that I get into voiceovers, I'm like, you have a great voice, you should do this. But sometimes the instincts aren't always there to like how to deliver like a realistic character, how to sell a product, like, and of course we'll go through other stuff later that are like, more audiobook or doing sentimental as well can also be like something that is, this is something I'm really good at.
We asked kids, teens, parents, and grandparents from all over the world to tell us what comes to mind during the holiday season. Yeah, difficult. Yeah,
but it's like you have to imagine.
Can I hear you?
Yeah. But you should also think, like, feel the environment in this one.
Yeah,
it's like a cozy fire. It's snowing outside, nice and calm and quiet. And we asked kids, teens, parents, and grandparents from all over the world to tell us what comes to mind during the holiday season. Watching old family videos, making traditional meals together. Like, it's like, it also has a smile, but it's like, but it's like someone's like whispering like a secret
you're in the hospital, your grandmother didn't make it, sorry. But then, would you like to make a donation?
Yes, exactly. Because then at the end of this one, it is selling something, but it's selling intimacy and like love. So at the end of this one, from your friends at Celestial Watches, make every moment count.
Yeah.
And it's like, like there's like a tonality that goes down there as well. So it's like commercials, but you're selling like a different kind of product.
From your friends. And
one of my proudest moments was getting a Lindex commercial. And that played for like 2.5 years or something.
That's so cool.
Also the best day of your life is going to be when you've recorded a commercial, you get paid the $50,000 that day because of all of the usage rights, blah, blah, blah. And one day, like a year later, the same company might call you and be like, "Hey, we've decided that we're going to carry on with this commercial, so you can just invoice
and stuff.
So you can just send another invoice for this amount of money."
Yeah.
So I didn't even step in the studio, and I just sent in an invoice, and I was
so
like,
cool.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna fucking love it.
That's the closest thing I've been to that. Is I did, when there was like the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge?
Oh yeah.
So because I have Crohn's and everything, I thought it would everyone is donating to ALS, which is super cool. So I said that in the video, but I'm gonna dump a bucket of ice water and donate to Crohn's disease.
There you go.
And then that video, I got an email from a production company that was making a commercial for Telia. So they bought my YouTube video, like the rights to it, for I think it was like 8,000 or 10,000 crowns.
No way!
And I was so pumped because I saw, you can see it, you don't even see my face. You just see like my body and just like pouring that ice water, and I was like, oh, that's me, because I was seeing it in the theaters and stuff. So that was so amazing. Cool.
If you have a minute of different clips, like it's more than enough. People just want to hear how you sound and how you like interpret scripts, and that's going to be. But I have no doubt in my mind, Tejbz.
That's
seriously,
so cool.
big time. And I never say this to white dudes ever.
No, whoa.
No, but you really are extraordinary, and I think that it's a rare quality. And also, reading is. I didn't realize that. The years that I spent in acting school, I had no idea how much it was going to pay off doing voiceovers, because I was doing all this for like stage and film and whatever. I had no idea that it was going to be like a voiceover thing. But I think you're going to love it.
Yeah.
It's the best job in the world.
But let's do the loot box.
Oh!
Let's do the loot box. This is actually perfect. Also, I want to ask every guest I have, if you weren't doing stand-up and voiceover, what would you... Okay, yeah. You're the second person who said that. You know that? Memetix, he was like, OnlyFans.
No, listen. For sure. This is the like sad thing. It's like, you and I have been talking about how we haven't been making that much money lately. And I've been looking into OnlyFans, and I've been looking into how to do porn.
Yeah.
Turns out, you gotta have a passion for it.
It's almost like you gotta enjoy it.
There would be nothing worse than being a mediocre porn star. They would be like the worst, where it's like, I make $50 a month. My OnlyFans. And my friend that does porn, he's in gay porn, so but he's super gorgeous, and like his he's like, you got to treat this like a job like anything else. And I'm like, really? He's like, look, if you think curating your social media channel is too much work, then like this is also going to be too much work, because like you have to cater to your fans, you have to like do
and it's also
constant postings.
physical.
It is
like,
physical.
You have to stay in shape. You gotta like. I know, I don't know if this is true or not, but I think if you're a guy, you have to also practice like coming and sailing and roping or whatever.
Joke, man.
So it's like, it's hard work.
I don't envy the dudes at all.
Yeah, and like, yeah.
Okay, for realsies, I would probably be a teacher.
Yeah.
Or I would be like managing a hotel or something.
Oh, okay,
like I could see myself in customer service, but I love how I've been like applying for jobs right now in like hotels, and I'm like, I hate it here.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here. This is horrible.
You look around and you're like, God damn. Yeah. I keep like, if I'm too unadjusted to having a normal job by now.
I know, bro.
It's either this or bust. Like, I am gonna be a stay-at-home dad. Like, that's my plan.
I just got some really good news from my accountant today.
Yeah.
That because I'm behind on my taxes, as some artists are in the new age. No, but like, I also kind of feel that way, where I'm like, it's this or bust. And because I was on the phone with my mom, and she's like, maybe you should study.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank you for recommending that for the 100th time. I will take that under advisement.
Yeah.
Thank you. But also, I guess I could, but I had when I'm going to apply for these jobs, and they're like, can you be here at 5:30 in the morning? Or like, can you work 8 hours? Or can you do this? I'm like,
yeah.
And then I come home to my husband, I'm like, they asked me to work 8 hours.
Yeah. Does he have a normal job? Yeah, they don't understand, you know? Like, and you know what I said?
He works overnights. He works 16-hour shifts overnight. Yeah, so he has no sympathy for me at all. He's like, bitch.
Yeah, I remember I had a couple of beers with my friend who works at like retirement funds or something like that. And I told him like, bro, like I could probably have a normal job. Like, how hard can it be? And he just looked at me. He's like, brother, like you could probably do the tasks, but people would fucking hate you at my job.
What?
Because I'm like, hey, you know, and I can't focus, and I'll be like, hey, you guys want to record a podcast? You want to do some joke? Like, I'm too much of a weirdo now. But
I am also nervous about that. Like, I went to an interview at a luxury hotel, and that seemed actually kind of like the best work environment because they, you know, they're properly staffed, like you know, because right now the economy is so bad that if you're not in a luxury place, even in some luxury places, you're doing the job of like 5 people.
Oh yeah.
But I went in there and they're like, so, you know, how do you conduct yourself in these situations? And like in my head,
fart noise. Yeah, I'm good.
I am like saying the worst things where I'm like, hey, fuck off, motherfucker. You don't even say I'm going to put on a breakfast buffet. What do you want me to do? And then so I'm on the outside. I'm like, well, of course, I love to conduct myself with the finest books and music.
Yeah, it'd be fun. I like to conduct myself, you know. Start joking immediately.
And we saw that you are a comedian, and you know we don't mind the odd joke here and there. I was like, fucking hey,
hey, brother.
But I'm like actually so scared. Because I realize that I'm also not a normal person anymore. Like, especially when you are, you know, when you're around people that have like jobs. And they're like,
you're like, what do you mean? What do you mean you don't like Mondays?
I know. I'm like, you know, I was like, for me, Mondays are fantastic. Like, you know, comedy happens Fridays, Saturdays, sometimes even on Sundays. Sundays is like a cleaning day. Monday is like the beginning of my weekend. You know, so like I never understand what people are talking about. I'm like, jeez. Okay, let me buzz.
Let's do the loot box.
Oh my God.
Hold on, let me put that down. So that is just actually the cover for like the loot thing. But if you want this, of course you can have it.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll take a little bit of clip build here.
Wow.
You can take like a small thing. It could be a big thing.
Oh my God.
Overwatch things.
Wow. Wait, what is...
These are fans if you want to build a computer or something, you know.
My husband would actually love these.
Yeah.
He'd be like,
you can put them up on the desk if you want to make some space. Because it is kind of packed in there.
What?
That's a Red Bull, what's it called? Mouse pad, you know?
Wow.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
Wow. And you have a weapon in here?
Oh, yeah. Everyone kind of looks at that one. It's it's not real, you know, wink. It's a Counter-Strike knife from it was like really hyped many years ago to have skins in Counter-Strike. It still is very expensive in Counter-Strike, but they made real knives that look like the game.
My dad would love this. Oh my gosh, look at all the stuff that's in here. Oh
There's
my
like
God.
a very ergonomical keyboard. That's from Tejbz GTFO.
It looks like my vagina.
No,
I'm sorry. I'm so
have you seen
sorry.
Keith?
What do you think I was talking about in here? I was like, but you have to be nice to her. You can't just. Oh my God! You have.
Overwatch, Han Solo. Yes, that's from Disney. It's with pens.
With
it comes
pens?
with pens.
With pens?
Yeah.
Because I like to color sometimes. It's
Or
what a cool fucking. This is the nicest thing ever. You don't have any makeup in here, do you?
That's a keyboard from NZXT if you need that. Overwatch
this
loot.
is so cute.
Some stickers from Squirtin.
Oh my gosh.
And that's a Doom guy. That one I think is pretty rare.
This is actually pretty rad. I should leave that for a true fan.
Very rare No Man's Sky.
I have actually played this. I've actually played No Man's Sky. It was really fun.
I think there's pictures and like special stuff in it. Wow. Very rare.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But yeah, I got a bunch. There's like a lamp you can put on your head.
Okay, no, for sure, without a doubt, going with the pens.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't. These things are amazing. Thank you so much, Tejbz.
No worries.
Thank you.
Thank you for
awesome.
coming and chatting. I feel like we have had an amazing little podcast.
We did.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
And you got to do some voiceover. Today.
Voiceover. Let's do it.
Amazing, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Tack så mycket.
Do you want to plug anything, by the way? Your Instagram?
Yeah. Catch me on Instagram, Roulette LeRoux. And that's also on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram.
Yes. You have a special up on YouTube,
I have a special up on YouTube. Please check it out. It's so much fun. I'm going to do another tour this fall, so check out that little preview of a nice little mini special. Tejbz and I are doing many shows probably in the future, so catch me on social media to find out when and where those things are going to be. Can't wait. Thank you so much.